Hey, what's up? Hunter Grindle here from Hybrid Fitness, and I'm going to talk in this video about how you can help fix your shin pain. And so what a lot of people do, is they'll roll their feet on the ground with a lacrosse ball. They'll have like an ice water bottle. They'll get new insoles. And while a lot of those things will help the pain, they don't necessarily always fix the source, the cause of what's created those shin splints. And really what happens is a lot of it starts in your hips and your posture. And so in this video, I'm going to describe where you might have that issue, where it's gone wrong, and then a few exercises after that we can correct it. So let's jump into where is your issue right now. Alright, so one thing I see a lot and that most people have is it's called the pronation of your foot, and basically that means when you're walking, you are walking with your feet, so you're on the inside of your foot. And so this happens for a number of different reasons, but mainly it all starts in your hips. So what happens is when we're sitting down all day at the office, we're doing things, we're driving in the car to work, our hips get tight and our abs aren't quite as strong and we don't use our glutes. So what happens is in your posture, what we see is your butt will come out a little bit, your abs hang out, and you have tight hips. Now, this is called lower cross syndrome or the Donald Duck stance. You kind of like Donald Duck here. But anyways, what that does is when your hips get tight and when you're walking, it causes your knees to kind of come in together. And then when that happens, the knees bring in your feet. So now you're on the inside of your feet. So that naturally causes you to, bring your feet in that position, in a pronated position, that's called. So here are a few things, if that is you, that you can do to help bring you back a little bit to neutral, to get away from that. That's what we call flat foot. Your arches go away. So here they are. Alright, so like we said, when the hips get tight, it kind of causes your knees to cave in a little bit, and then of course the weight's going into the inside of your foot. So what we want to do is train our hips to open up a little bit and to change that position of our knees, which will ultimately bring our feet closer to a neutral position. So these are called seated 90-90 mobilizations. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up to the edge of your seat, right on your butt. You're going to take one of your legs and you're just going to bring it over your knee like this. You'll have to really scoot to the edge to make this work. Now, once you get here, what we're going to do is apply just a 2-second hold. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then back up. So this is a mobilization. It's not a stretch. So we're going to do 10 reps per side, and we're going to do 2 sets. So we're going to go 1, 2, up, 1, 2, up. And you should really feel that all here in your hip. Now if you notice looking at me right now, my knee is fairly high. It's not completely parallel with the ground. And that's because I'm actually naturally a pronator. I have tight hips, and that's something I've had to work on. So 1, 2, good. 1, 2, and then once you get through your 10 reps, you can go to the other side. So again, throw that leg up there, scoot to the edge, and just push the knee down. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up, and you're really going to feel that in your hips. So we'll go on to the next exercise. Alright, so this is another hip exercise that's again going to help open up those hips and loosen them up, but also strengthen the glutes, which would be a little bit loose if you're a pronator most likely. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay down on the ground like this. You're going to plant your feet, and all we're going to do is we're going to extend our hips up as far as your glutes will let you. So you're putting as much weight as you can into your heels. Okay, you're just coming up. 1, 2, 3 for a 3-second hold and going back down. And I actually put my butt on the ground, but what I want you to do is let it hover. So just above the ground. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, come down, let it hover through the heels. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And again, you're going to do a total of 2 sets of 10 with that exercise. Alright, now the third exercise, this is called the Sideline Clamp. And this is again working on now the outside of your hip and still your glutes a little bit to loosen up the hips and get some more activation in them. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay down here on the side. You're going to keep your feet together, okay, and you're just going to open up your hip like this and just hold it for 2 seconds. 1, 2, down. 1, 2, and down. 1, 2, and down. Okay, you're going to do 10 reps on each side for for 2 sets. Okay, now the fourth exercise, this is called a wall ankle mobilization. So you're going to find a wall. I'm just going to use this pole here. And you might have to adjust the position of your foot a little bit, but basically you're going to grab onto the wall and you're going to shift both your knees forward, keeping the front heel or the front heel on the ground. And you want to keep the weight in that heel. And you're just going to go back. We're going to do 2-second holds. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I want you to do 10 again. And just be careful to keep the weight in the heel. If you start feeling the weight go to the front of your foot, then you just want to give it a rest and go to the other side. So I'll hit the other side really quick. Again, shifting here. And that's just going to mobilize all this area in the front of your leg. Alright, so the next common thing that we see a lot in feet is called supination. And what supination basically means is that you are walking, or you are generally standing on the outside of your feet, and it creates that high arch. And this is caused a lot of times what we call Pink Panther posture, which is the opposite of Donald Duck posture. So Donald Duck again is right here. Pink Panther's kind of got the hips forward a little bit, right? And so when you do that, what happens, the hips come forward, it forces the knees to bow out a little bit, like that, and then from there, you are on the outside of your feet. So there are a few exercises that we can do to loosen up those tighter muscles that are causing that. So without further ado, here they are. So the first exercise that we're going to want to do is going to train you to bring your hips in a little bit more. So where you have that supinated stance, chances are your hips externally rotated just a tad bit, so this is going to bring them in. So these are called laying down knee pull-ins. So you're going to lay down like this, okay? You're going to keep your feet a little bit wide, and you're just bringing the knees in. You're going to hold 1, 2, out, 1, 2, out, 1, 2. And while you're doing this, just pay attention. You want to keep those feet planted on the ground. You don't want the feet coming up off the ground. So I want you to do 2 sets of 10 of those, then we're going to move on to the next exercise. The next exercise is called the prone windshield wiper. So what you're going to do, I'm going to kind of get 2 different angles here, but you're going to lay down on your stomach. Once you lay down on your stomach like this, you can kind of just use your hands here, to put your chin on. You're going to pick your legs up, okay, and you're going to be pushing them outwards. And you're going to do 2-second holds again. So you're going to go 1, 2, straight, 1, 2, straight, 1, 2, straight. So I'll just flip around for you really quick so you can get a different look at this. So you got 1, 2, straight, 1, 2, straight, 1, 2, and straight. There you go. And that is the prone windshield wiper. All right, and finally for the last exercise, we've got rocking ankle mobilizations. So I'm actually going to line up here to the side. And what we're going to do, you're going to have your butt up in the air. You're going to take one of your legs, so we'll start with our right leg. Have the foot behind the other calf. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to actually try and keep that heel on the ground. And then you're just going to lean forward until you should feel a mild stretch. You're going to hold for 2 seconds. Then you go right back. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. And now if you want a little bit extra stretch, you just bend that knee a little bit. And that'll hit it a little bit different. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. And then of course you can get the other side. So fold that leg back, heel on the ground, and 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. And then if you want to get more, bend that knee. 1, and you might not necessarily feel it a ton, but it is stretching out those tendons. It's stretching out everything you need to work on. So there you go. So that is the final exercise. And so now hopefully you know, are you a pronator? Are you a supinator? Do you have an I-arch, a low arch? And where is it being caused by in your hips? So depending on where you're at, figure that out. And another way you can actually look is if you look at the bottom soles of your shoes, if they're fairly new. If they're like mine and there's no sole on them, you're out of luck. But if you have fairly new shoes, look at the bottom of the soles. Where are they worn? And that'll tell you if it's on the outside, you're more likely a supinator with a high arch. If it's on the inside, you're a pronator with that close-in arch. So do some of those exercises. They will help you. I recommend do those 1 to 2 times daily. These things don't come fast. When you're making postural changes, it is not a fast change. But if you're consistent for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you will start to see a difference. And hopefully a lot of those shin splints or even things like plantar fasciitis, those things will start to alleviate and the pain will go away. So anyways, I hope this video helped. I'm going to leave a little video section after this, so make sure you subscribe, you comment any questions. We're always open to them, and like, of course. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching my video. Now, if you're local and you'd like to try out our 21-day trial, go ahead and click right here to start out. Or if you're not, but you still like to learn how to burn fat at home, go ahead and click right there. Which one are you going to choose? So there are multiple things that go into getting bigger muscles, but the main thing is when you lift weights, as long as you're lifting enough weight with proper form, you're going to break down your muscle tissue, and when that muscle tissue rebuilds, it's going to overcompensate a little bit. It's going to build a little extra muscle tissue, which is ultimately going to help you.